to Mish Mash Monday. My name's Dawn, I'm the Reclusive Crafter, and today we are playing with all this treasure. Just bits and pieces that I've already cut off from the bits from the romantic journal that I'm working on. And the idea of today is to make some sense out of some of this and make some clusters up. So that's it. That is what I'm doing for today. So I'm just going to get started. I hope you're all well. The week has started again and we're off on another adventure for the week. What adventures have you guys got lined up? Anything exciting? I don't think I have. Well, it depends what you classify as exciting, really. I love just being here doing this, which is nice, isn't it? Okay, so I'm literally just playing with these bits, as you can see, and all I'm going to do is use up some of these to make up some clusters, as I say, and I'm literally just going to lay things together and just see if I'm happy with them or not. And like I say, I am literally just making clusters, so you know you can put anything together with clusters. It can be uniform, it can be just a mishmash of stuff that you've got, it can be anything you want it to be. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is just tack these two bits together because I quite like that. And what were they? They were these bits, weren't they? Let me just scooch this little lot over here. Scooch, of course, being the technical term I like to use. And I think that it doesn't really matter what way round the paper goes, to be honest with you. I want to put that out towards that way. I might end up cutting bits down, but for the moment I don't want to spend too much time thinking about things, because then we get into the realms of procrastinating like I love to do. I don't want to do that. I just want to make some nice little bits and pieces up. Not quite sure how it's gonna look, and I want some different pieces here and there. Do you know, I think, oh, let me try that. How does that look? Well, that looks nice, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to go with that because I've got lots of little pieces of ephemera to use up as well. I don't want to get too heavily into inking and things if I can help it, but I do think I've stuck that down and I didn't actually ink them. I wonder if I can pull that away just slightly. I just think it might be nice if there's a bit of definition between the pieces. And I say that because a lot of these pieces obviously have come from the same backgrounds, if you like, or pages. So just having a little bit of definition there, I think, might be nice. Yeah. So, what have I got to tell you all? Not a deal. My life is actually really very quiet, which is fabulous. That suits me absolutely down to the ground. Some people may think that that's a bit boring, but for me, I've had a really hectic life, actually. I've been in quite high-level positions with some of the firms that I've worked for, and there's a lot of stress involved, and it's just nice to not have to deal with people and not have to deal with the hassle, really. So yeah, the sedentary kind of just sitting in my craft room playing with my bits suits me down to the ground. That's better. That looks better. So I'm going to pop that down there. And in fact, I'm quite happy with this actually. So I'm gonna pop it down all the way, I think. I'm going for it, kiddos. Going for it. And I do want to make sure, just bear with me, because I do want to make sure that I am recording. Just let me check my mic is on. Yes, it is. Let me check my phone is recording. Yes, it is. I've only done that because I've had some real gremlins in the work lately. My videos haven't videoed, and then when they have videoed, there's been no sound, and it's all been a bit weird and random, really, and I'm not quite sure I understand what's been going on. Yeah, so I've got another one of these the opposite way round. Let me just check. Yes, I have. I think I'd quite like that one that way around, actually. So that's what I'm gonna do. Ink, inkity, pinkity, boo. Yeah. I want to give a shout out to a few of my subscribers. Ronnie, Christina, Anne, and Jenny, and Margaret, of course. Thank you so much for all your kind comments, people. Yeah, it does make things so worthwhile when you get such lovely feedback from people. And yeah, it really is just heartwarming that you're enjoying the videos and you like what I do, which is just lovely, isn't it? I'm going to pop that one on there, and I want to stick that down there. Do you know, as with everything I do, I expected this to be a really quick process, and at this rate I might just make one, mightn't I? Which will be nice. Right, I'm going to trim that there. I don't want them sticking out a million miles. This one, do I want to put a little banner on there? Could do, couldn't I? Let me see what that looks like. I'm going to pop a little banner on here and see what that looks like. Might look blooming awful, but we're gonna give it a go and see. I quite like that, actually. Happy with that. I am going to allow myself to throw these pieces away. You see, I do throw things away sometimes. And I'm going to pop randomly a little bit of a banner up here as well and see how that looks. Just because I can. Just because I can. So that's that one. And that's that one. Oh, I think that looks lovely. There we go. Liking that too. That's nice, isn't it? And then what I thought I would do, maybe put a little number on there. What do you think of that? I've got some beige ones here somewhere. They're here, aren't they? Yes, indeed. Come along, come on out. There, black or beige. Oh, I think I'll go with the black. It just adds a little bit of something different, doesn't it? Where do I want to cut that? I want to cut that just after the 9. There we go. I'm going to trim that little bit of white off of there. but I will put a little bit of ink round to take away that white core edge. There we go. And now I'm going to stick it down. Ta -ta 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 -ta. Pop that on there. Okay, I'm good with that one. There you go. That's that one done. That's quite cute, huh? One down. We'll see how many more we can get done. That's nice, isn't it? I like that. One. Okay, we'll pop that one up there. Okay, next on the agenda, I don't want them all being the same. Maybe pop that on there. Maybe a bit further along. So that one there. Come out. That one there. That one there. I'm trying to go with the rule, a base of 3. But it's not a hard and fast rule. But it just gives you a base to work from. Quite like the darker colours on here. Quite like that. I'm going to trim this bit off here and see if I can make use of that, because that's quite a nice design, isn't it? I'm going to trim that off of there and trim that down just there. Pop that bit in the bin. Okay, let's have a look at that, because that's a better width, isn't it? That's nice. And then maybe that one. And this is where, you see, this is why sometimes I don't like doing these things on camera, because I do struggle making decisions with these sorts of things. That's actually 5.5 inches wide, so that would be the width of a page. I'm not really sure I want it. Do you know, I didn't look at the width of this one actually. Oh, that's just under, that's okay. That would still make a nice... I think this one is definitely a bit too wide. So I'm going to cut this one down. I'm going to cut that one down to there, and that might give me a better size to work with as a cluster, possibly. So that could go there, then that one there, and then so I want to cut that one off about there. And about there. Okay, I'm going to glue that into place. And then that will be the base that I'm working with. So I think about there. Yeah. And then this one, again, just pop a little bit of glue across the top for now. And then come in about maybe a little bit wider out. About there. And it's moved. Jolly good. Okay. So there's my little base for that. I didn't ink things, did I? I'm terrible at not inking, aren't I? Let me just throw a bit of ink around it. Can I get that down there? Does it really matter? We'll just do what we can do. Just catch the edges, that's fine. Okay, so I've got that. And now I need to decide what I'm doing with it. Oh, stop messing about with your pin. I've just had a thought. I've got her. She's very lovely, isn't she? Or I've got that in a larger version. Let me have a look at that. Do I like that? Got her around that way as well. Maybe pop her on there. Okay. Or do I prefer the round? If I had the round, that could work up that end. I think I'm going to go with that one. So that looks nice. I also want maybe a little bit of a... That's too big. Have I got any smaller ones? Oh, I do not. I do have that. Okie dokie. And no, flowers are too much. Little old buddy fly, Amy. Little old buddy fly. Little old buddy fly. That looks like an afterthought. Maybe if I just used a little bit of the bingo, maybe cut that off there, pop that there perhaps. I think that's okay. I'm going to go with it randomly. So I want that one there. I'm going to pop some ink around this one as well. I don't think I'm going to get too much of this used, am I, at the rate I'm going? But we mustn't grumble about that. Just going to knock back a little bit of that white just in the background. There we go. Right then, so I want that like that, and I think her there. I think that works. Let me glue these down. Give myself a base. There we go. Pop a bit of glue on her. And I'm going to go, where do we want to go with her? About there. I think so. And then, yep, happy with the positioning of that. Let me pop a bit more glue on there. So I want to pop the glue about there, down there, and about there, I think, possibly. There we go. Let's have a look, see. Do I want that a bit further along? About there. That's nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. And of course, I wonder, I think on my next one, I'm going to make use of some of that lovely stuff. Is 6 too many? Probably. Yeah, I think it really is actually. I'm just going to go with the normal 3 then. Just go with the 3. Pop those on. Oh, come on. Off you come. I do struggle with these things. It would help if I had some decent nails. I never grow my nails very well. They grow and they break. And that's just the way of it. Pretty, huh? That's nice, like that. Do we want a little number? I might just see what that looks like. Ink. Just take the whiteness away. How does that look there? Quite like that. I don't know why, it's a bit random, I know, but I'm going with it. There we go. And pop that on there. There we go. That's another little one done. Tra-la, 2. Okay. I wouldn't say we're cooking on gas, but, you know, we've made a start, which is always a good thing. And at least you're getting the general idea. Now then, what else have we got? Oh, that, I was going to make that into a belly band, wasn't I? But I have a belly band, so I might make that into something else. I'm going to put that to one side for a second. I've got her, lovely lady. Not sure about her. Oh, I've got that. I could make a vertical band, couldn't I? A vertical. Yeah, let's do that. Let's use this as a base. Can you see? Let me take that in. Don't want to take it that far. Yeah, let's take it to there. Okay. And I want to just clip off that little bit. I'm going to keep that little bit of foliage at the bottom. And now let's have a look and see what we can do with that one. Okay. I have got another little one. Look, little, the same. I quite like that, but I'm not sure it's being executed very well. Let me bring that up a little bit. Bring that down a little bit. Then I can maybe... Oh, little butterfly might work there, mightn't it? Just pop a little butterfly in there. That would look nice, wouldn't it? Yes, and what I'm also going to do is put a little piece of this netting underneath, which I think will look fabulous. So if I pop that there, let me just cut that off for now. And where's my glooby-doo? This is just collard. It's difficult to say, isn't it? Yeah, collard glue. It's a bit, 3-in-1 basically. Fabri-Tac, for want of a better explanation. I'm just going to pop that on there, just to give that a little bit of a background, which I think is lovely, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's going to be fabulous, darling. Okay. Done my normal trick of not inking. I am... Oh, it helps if you hit this ink pad door. Let me just pop a little bit of ink around here. And a little bit of ink around here. This glue's all over me now. There we go. That's lovely. Okay, just need to get that glue off my thumbs. So, how did I decide I wanted this? I wanted that up there. And I'm just going to keep these exactly as they are, just tiny little cut-offs. But just with nice little pictures on, aren't they? That's nice. So I'm going to pop that there. Like that. That's that one on. And then this one, again, that one's going to come over here, like so. I'm going to lose all my sequins, aren't I? Oh, that's sad. You can still see, you probably can't see, but I can still see the netting there. But it's okay. Mustn't grumble and all that. I'm going to pop that on there. I actually think that's coming out a little bit too far though, so I think I will trim. Just trim a little bit of that off. I don't want to cut the flower, but I am going to just trim a little bit of that one off. Okay, that's nice. Let me just re-ink that. Lovely. And now I'm going to pop this one down. And this one, do I want it over that side? There, again, I think I'll just trim that down a little bit. Just by snicking. Oh, I cut that really straight, didn't I? Not to worry, it's fine. I'm going to pop that one there. Like I say, there is no right or wrong to this when you're doing these things. You just literally, if you feel it's right where you're putting it down, pop it on down. Oop, get off. My fingers are getting a bit ickety stickety. I'm sticking to everything. Pop a little bit of ink on my little butterfly. And then I did want him in the middle there. That's nice. I'm going to go with that there. With the little bits and pieces. Okay, I'm going to pop him just on there. Lovely. That's nice. And then, because I've lost my sequins up here, I'm using it as an excuse to put a little bit of bling there. Not that we need an excuse. Okay. Oh, get off. There we go. Lovely. That is now going to go up there. And when you put these in, I'll show you on the pages in a moment, you can use them as little tuck spots or just stick them directly down to the page. That's really cute, isn't it? I like that. That's lovely. Nice. So that's another one done. There we go, guys. Do I want a bit of number on there? I don't know. Let me have a look. See, I hadn't thought about the number situation. In keeping with the situation, where did my little black numbers go? I've lost them. Are they on the floor? Have I lost them? Can you see them? I've lost my numbers. Am I being stupid? Where have they gone? I know I didn't use them all. I bet they're in amongst this lot, aren't they? And it's turned over the wrong way and I can't see them. I wonder if one of these will do instead. Oh, I quite like that 847 there. I'm going to use the 847. Let me just pop that on my little tray so I don't lose that bit. I'm just going to use this 847 because I'm going to put that over there this time as well so I don't lose it. How bizarre. I wonder where those black ones went. I bet you can see them and then you're all shouting at me, aren't you? Never mind, eh? Right then. Let's pop my little 847 down before I lose that too. Oops. Come on, don't start messing about on me. There we go. I'll pop that just in there. Oh, love it. That's better. Just needed a little something else. There we go. Nice, huh? Like them. Right then. I think I will make possibly one more with you guys and then I'll call it a day. Purely because, again, you've seen the principle. It's easy to get bored. Just wondering if I use that. I think I will. Or do I want to use that darker piece? Would be nice to have some darker pieces, wouldn't it? It looks like that's the only dark piece I've got, apart from this piece here. Yeah, that's nice actually. Let me just trim this bit off here. Going to trim that little piece off there. Lovely. Going to square that up a little bit. Let's throw that bit away. So I've now got that and that. And I'm going to have this little bit here with these pretty pink roses on. I think. There we go. So I'm going to use that piece as well. Right then, let's have a look. So, if we did that, or do we want to go this way around? I don't know. Maybe pop that piece. And what am I going to put on it if I do that? I should show you what I'm doing, shouldn't I? So I've got my little tray of bits here. Look at me being all organised. Amazing, huh? I have got some more. I've got them all spread out on my table as well. I'm struggling with this one, so I might not get this one finished. What about her? Oh, the pain of my brain. What do we think? I think, therefore I am. I think I might. That's what I'll do. Okay, a decision was just made. Okay, so last one, and then I'll let you get away. I'll show you what they're like on a page and how you can embellish your pages. Okay, that's that little bit done. And again, this is all from just your little cut-offs when you're designing your pages, either which way. So you can make beautiful things from virtually nothing. So when you're looking at your journals and you don't know how to embellish a page or what will work, or you look at what you've got around you and you think, oh, I've only got rubbish left anyway and I don't really know what to do. Here you go. This is what you can do. You look at what you consider to be rubbish and you put little bits and pieces together to make something beautiful. Okay. I'm going to potentially tuck that somewhere. Not quite sure yet where. I do not know, but I might pop it somewhere just so that it's there, maybe. Let's okay, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to tack these together for now. Might have to do more than tack, it's moving. The only thing with the collard glue is it doesn't glue very quickly. So I popped a bit of the art glitter glue on because it catches quicker. Doesn't give you so much time for the old wiggly room. Right, if that's going about there, I want that about there. Again, just going to catch that just while I position the rest of it. And then popping a bit more glue down there. I'm using that because of the ribbon I'm using. It's because it's fabric. And then I'm going to get that out of the way so you can see what I'm doing, folks. Maybe that there, a little bit higher up than I was originally going to have it. Oh, it's not. Just need to give that a minute to sort itself out. And then do I want that there or there? Yum, yum, yum. I'm just going to pop it under very slightly, I think. There we go. Nice. And I'm doing it. I am doing it. A few more little pieces of this. Do we want that to go there? That's quite cute. Or do we want to break up the... I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to break up that little crossover there. Come on. There we go. Sorry I haven't spoken much today. Like I said, I don't really have a lot to tell you, if anything. Do I want that over a bit further, maybe? I don't know. That'll do nicely. That'll do the job. Right then, let me show you what we have just played with. And then I will show you how they look in the book. Let me just scooch all this out of the way. Where's my pin for this one? Could be anywhere now. There it is. Okay, so we have got glue all over our hands, which is lovely, and we have got, I'm just going to stand up so that I can check that. Oh, actually, do I want a few little blingy bits on there? No, I won't. And I won't because otherwise they're all samey. So we have this one. It helps if you can see it, doesn't it? There we go. So there's that one. And then there's this one, which is, oops, a bit more blingy. And there's this one. I quite like this one too. Actually, I quite like them all. I think they've all come out really nicely. And there's that one. Can we see? Yep, there we go. Okay, so that's from my little endeavours this morning. Let me know what you think. If you've got a favourite, let me know. And let me know what you think about just pulling these few little bits and pieces together to actually make these. And then what you can do is when you've got your pages, you can actually use these for embellishing anywhere. So even if, let me scooch those over, even if you've got a fully decorated page like that, as an example, you could very easily put something like that on, or maybe even something like that. And then that would act as a little tuck perhaps. You can use them for plain pages. So here, for instance, there, again, a little tuck in if you wanted to use it as a tuck. This one here, you could use it just to embellish the page with. Again, this one here, either use it to embellish the page or a little tuck. It just takes the plainness away from the page. It gives you the ability to add in more journaling space if you want to. You could put a ledger page or a tag or a journal card or something behind that. And then the final one would be this one. And I think I'd be inclined to pop this one on a right hand page in the top corner there. And then that could be used as an up tuck if you wanted to, or again, just stick it down onto the page, either which way. So there we go. 4 little embellishments made out of what potentially could have ended up in the bin. There we go. Beautiful, aren't they? I think they're absolutely lovely. That's it for today. Thank you so much again for your time, guys. If you haven't already subscribed and you've got to the end of the video, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And I will look forward to seeing you all for No Waste Wednesday. We could have done this for a No Waste Wednesday, couldn't we? Either which way, everything works. See you all soon. Bye.